dude was standing there and the log came down, boom, hit him in his face. Right. His face was split open. He's just sitting there. Eyes was intact, but his nose is over here.
Right,
dude.
that's the most dangerous job. The loggers, they be up there, you know, that Final Destination scene still get me, you know, with the logging truck in front of you.
Yeah,
and then you got the wood, and then somehow it stopped abruptly, and then one of them logs come straight to you.
You drive down the highway, get past that mother hump.
Right.
Real quick.
But if you going in the northwest, that's logging country. So you you hitting them trucks.
You visit.
Yeah.
You gotta watch out for me.
If you've seen Final Destination, it's hard for you driving in Oregon.
Yeah, man. Whatever. Just a Thought podcast back in the JEST. Fred Potter here.
I'm out.
All right now. So anyway, I had to go some guy, some crew with me.
Oh, some guy here.
Hey man, it's been a
New Jack Swang.
It's been a beautiful week for me, man. Because as you know, my wife's been gone. So me and the youngest went to visit her in Rockford, Illinois. Man, my wife missed the fuck out of me. I loved it, man. I'm still replenishing my electrolytes. No, I'm just kidding, man. It's good to be missing. I missed her too. Just the camaraderie, you know. You both get there, you know. We both wanted to cuddle. Mine a little different style of cuddling, you know. Old wounds came back as far as the blocking. My 12-year-old was the biggest blocker in the world. So it was hard to get quality time. But, you know, I had to keep her occupied. My wife still had to work. But, you know, the 4th of July came around. What do you think about the 4th, man? The older I get, the more I understand.
Fuck with it.
Yeah, you know.
I mean,
it's still an American holiday, but it's all false pretenses.
Right, but it's an American holiday without context.
Right.
For the newer generations, especially the ones that are history has been omitted in school.
Exactly.
Because we wasn't a free people.
Not in 1776. Right. It was not until 1865. So we acknowledge Juneteenth. When I say we, as far as black people, June 19th.
And I've just learned about. I was just telling Opal, my 12-year-old, that because I told them, all my kids. I told them growing up. I got 5 kids. All of them. I told you can celebrate the holiday if you tell me what it's about.
Good.
And they so lazy, none of them told me what it's about, so they never got to celebrate the shit.
No fireworks for you.
We still did the fireworks thing for about a decade. We did that just, for the fun of it or whatever. But it wasn't, in my mind, a happy 4th of July.
Right.
Because I kind of knew what the real was. And then as I got even older, I started realizing, like, what the fuck are we?
That's what
celebrating some shit.
That's what me, real good.
Like we were slaves and shit. How
walking
around,
but it's one of those situations where you don't want to be so negative on.
But that's brainwashing.
Exactly.
It's been so long.
I know
it seems negative.
It seems negative
because
but
we didn't know the truth.
You didn't know the truth. So the older you get, the more you realize.
Right.
My wife was telling me the other day. She was like, "Man, you're getting worse." I was like, "You know what? As long as you white, you'll be all right. Because it's not going to be militant Fred. That's not my style."
But she sees it as getting worse.
Because I'm recognizing.
You're recognizing.
And it's making her uncomfortable.
She's not used to hearing it because it hasn't been the norm as it should have been.
And it's kind of making her uncomfortable because she sees how it's making me aware in my eyes. But it's not making our relationship change because it's not like that at all.
Right.
I just don't have to.
But she has to understand that uncomfortability is 24/7 for us, for one.
Exactly.
And she wouldn't be uncomfortable had it been part of our history as it should have been.
They're trying to
been the norm.
They're trying to put LGTV in the schools now.
Right. LGBTQ plus now. They even added a plus.
Yeah.
It's LGBTQ.
Yeah, I'm still fucking up on
I'm fucking up.
but.
Now they got plus.
But we don't learn. We don't get the opportunity for Black history until
I need them to jump on board with the civil rights movement like we jump on board with their movement. I agree. I'm down with them, but it seems to me that every time I'm gonna call it nigga shit. Every time the nigga shit come up, they I don't hear them shutting down avenues and blocks and shit for civil rights, and I don't appreciate that.
There's a lot of gays in Atlanta.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I need y'all to stand up, just like we stand up for y'all, rightfully so. And we all minorities when it comes to
all that. When it's not
all minorities.
When they say not the norm,
right?
But who the hell made the norm? You know what I'm saying? Why is that normal? How come it can't be this way? I'm not talking about gay. Right. I'm just saying in general.
The norm is set. The standard of norm is set by society, by a lot of times by black folks. We set trends.
Like we don't. Well, I'm sorry. We talked about this before, maybe. Like for sports, for instance, like. None of us really played golf in high school because that was considered a white person's sport.
Accepted.
We wanted to be accepted
in that crowd, so we had to learn the sport.
The sport, but why was that not a sport that we didn't want to play in the first place? Because it wasn't popular with us. Because it wasn't taught to us.
Because white people created that shit and it looked corny to people in other cultures. So, but it's celebrated by everybody, the majority. So we like fuck it, we want to be included too. So we started learning the shit. Yeah. But just like they look at the shit that we probably played, which I don't know too much about our culture's games and stuff, but if other cultures look at our shit, they probably look at our shit like, what the fuck is that?
A lot of basketball being played in other countries.
But we didn't create that.
We sure didn't. But
what sport did we create? I don't even know.
None.
Like back in the day,
running,
did we have
running? Right. Get the fuck away from here. We home. I'm out.
To get the fuck away from the games in Africa.
That's why there's running because run so far.
Well, they probably had
marathon. There's always somebody
like chasing down lions and shit.
They're getting chased by lions.
Right. Who can get away from Mufasa the fastest?
But you know what I'm saying? That's probably the only sport. That's probably the only legitimate sport that black people could say, yeah, we ran for a long time.
Been still running.
Exactly. Like
you there.
Like tennis. Like my man with Venus Williams, Serena Williams' father Williams, when he from Saginaw, moved out to LA.
Yeah, they went to Compton.
Yes. But now you see, look what Serena's doing, celebrating. We got the new 15-year-old Coco Golf, man. I'm jumping on that wagon like everybody else. Now Wimbledon's every year in June over in England, over in London.
Yeah.
But
I love it.
I checked it out because I ain't gonna lie. When she played, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, whatever it was. I was still checking out the hotel with my daughter, with my wife, whatever, out of town. Damn, that's what I was trying to say. It was match point for the other girl.
Right.
I turned away. I was like, oh, well, she had a good run.
Right, good run. Then she
man, I turned back an hour later. They was interviewing her.
Right.
And what makes it so good? The girl seems like she's older than 15, the way she presents herself. And that's common. That's a lot of us act like that. But it's oh, you speak so well. No, motherfucker, we all speak well. Listen to me, motherfucker, we all speak well. That makes no sense right there. But you know what I'm saying.
But I like what the mother said about the shit. She said she admires and sits back and watches the father-daughter relationship transpire between them, and I can appreciate that because I don't have that relationship with I got with one of my daughters. They don't talk to me when they leave the house. They leave, But I admire that. I would have thought at this point I would have some type of relationship like that with my oldest, my girl.
How old's the oldest?
My oldest one is like 27 or something, 26, 27 or something like that.
Well, start right there and how old she is, all right?
I don't even know how old I am at the time.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, he's not lying. Just a thought. All right. But anyway, it's still a feel-good story, man. It's just one of those situations where I feel that I wish we'd have probably played tennis. I wish I would have played golf earlier. I wish I would have just found out something for myself.
A fun tennis fact. My cousin was slated to be, back in the 80s, 90s, he was slated to be the next Arthur Ashe. He was that good. He had never, he was so good he went crazy. What happened was he had never, ever lost a match in his whole career, high school up until his senior year. And like college scouts, everybody was out there. He was there. He was like Zion, right, to the NBA. And he lost a match during some he couldn't handle it, and he went crazy.
So literally, he never played. Well, you know what? It probably, God bless him, but man,
he cool now.
Yeah,
I think he's a teacher, I want to say, but that took him from him not being able to handle that loss because he had never lost. That's how good he was. Just drove it. Just wrecked him.
Just in high school, though. But can you imagine the pressure if you were a 15-year-old?
Right.
And on center court playing someone. She played Venus Williams.
Right.
And beat Venus.
Right.
Shit, almost looked like Venus.
She was ranked like 300th or something.
Yes, she said, one little kid asked for an autograph before the match, and she got mobbed basically after that.
Right.
But she's explaining this as a 15-year-old. And it's impressive because I know the commentators be like, "Damn it, she's good. She's smart too." I mean, that's I love that, man. I like it because it's a feel-good story about we need something that sounds good. I mean, something for blackness to make us feel proud and happy. Yes, it's Wimbledon over in London, but it's still
somebody being famous on TV for being naked.
For being naked and something stupid.
Something stupid.
You know, it's something that we could all enjoy and jump on that bandwagon. Yes, I am, Coco.
That's right. Yeah.
You know,
I love it. I love it, man. I love seeing that. But it takes dedication and hard work, and we have a lack of that, man. You know. I see it personally.
You're gonna get out of what you put into. That's in everything.
Yeah, I see it personally with just raising kids, man. They lack of enthusiasm to create something or to have a vision and follow through with it is.
Do you think technology's ruining all that?
Hell yeah.
I mean,
hell yeah.
Kids don't go outside like they used
to. When my kids was little, all we had to worry about was gigapets. You know what I'm saying? Remember them gigapets, them little things that beat when the little thing needed to eat or we walked or whatever, the little things that hung in the keychain that beeped and shit the girls had. You don't remember the gigapets?
I sure the hell no. I could lie and say I do just to keep the conversation going, but
20 years ago they used to have the gigapets. You know, the little things, it grow. You know, like 6 months, the little computer robot thing grow.
I know
over time.
I know computer chips called niggabytes. No, I don't know nothing about that, man.
But now we got to worry about the bullshit. It's crazy. Yeah, the internet.
Yeah, the internet. But you know what's funny?
It was introduced to us wrong.
The memes this week over number 45 when he tried to do a little, the celebration of the 4th of July, had all the cost of taxpayers and. With the planes,
he was like a big ass kid.
With the planes saying like, "Ooh, 1700."
In his head, he was probably going,
"I'm gonna bomb you."
He was probably doing that.
And you know what's funny? He blamed it on the teleprompter.
Right.
So but still,
no, nigga, you was dumb on your own.
Can you imagine Obama being like Rosa Parks, beautiful in the history?
Right.
Let me tell you, after that happened. Twitter was on the rampage. Right.
You would know that shit don't make sense. It would say something right on the spot. Like, this is
play it off, dude.
Play it off. You just dumb. When he said that shit, the teleprompter was like, no, nigga.
That ain't what I said. That ain't what I was going to say. If I would have said some shit like that, it would have been, when the slave ships came over, half of them was brought from Gilligan's Island. Right.
It kept on going. Like, kept on going. Shit.
Kunta Kinte had
and then his followers out there like that.
Yeah, like shit.
Island,
Did he just say that?
Like, George Washington flying planes down, like damn.
Man, that's crazy.
But that shit out the history books.
For one, he was dogging President Obama for using the teleprompter too much, and now it's just so twisted. And people and then you look at some of the memes, and I like to scroll and see what some people say. How they gonna defend that?
I had a cat invite me to his 4th of July. Shit, but he a Trump supporter, man. He was one of my students when we taught. We did a stand-up class way back in the day, and one of his kids worked on our film too. But he invited me, but we be on Facebook going back and forth in regards to some racial shit, and I'm trying to explain shit to him, and I'm like, dude, I haven't responded to him yet, but I gotta tell him, I'm like, I don't do the politics shit, the Democrat, that's gangbanging. I quit gangbanging a long time ago, but the fact that you align yourself with the Republicans and the KKK, I just posted an article said the KKK has aligned themselves with the Trump administration. They agree with their policy. Once that happens,
and you still
blaming Republicans,
then I'm sorry. We on uncharted territory.
Right.
People think it's just Republican, Democrat now. No. You got hatred mixed up in that now.
They agree with what you are. If that is the case, they're not good for me. That is oppressed. They are my oppressor. If you're okay with that, I can't fuck.
Did you know Home Depot's CEO, whatever? He's the biggest contributor to the GOP. I don't fuck with Home Depot anyway because they get on my nerves.
I can't fuck with you. That's like buying an extra noose. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go buy something from Home Depot. That one more noose. Yeah, you know what I mean, like that's how I look at it. Now I can't stop from getting everything that.
No. I need some garbage bags. That's right up the street.
But I can do what I can. If I'm aware, I can do what I can and try not to support that, whatever. But I can't. How we gonna be friends?
Exactly. And you lose a lot of friends. Like for instance, I defriended someone this week because it was still the Colin Kaepernick situation. They can't accept, they can't understand the fact. We could tell them, we could sit down and smack the shit out of them and go, it has nothing to do with the military. Nothing to do with the military.
They don't want
you keep pulling that out your ass, and you keep pulling it out your ass, and after it's out your ass.
Own talking point.
Exactly.
That's just a talking point from television. So, because truth be told, the sports teams were made to pay. The only reason why they did anything military wise in sports is because recruiting was down in the military. So the military was paying the NFL to do that sports shit in the beginning, in the state pledge allegiance or whatever, to raise patriotism for recruitment. That's the only reason why they did that shit. And then when people found out about it, they refunded that money. But they weren't doing it because they was patriotic. They was doing it because the numbers was down.
It's always about money,
right? But people are ignorant to the facts. They only
see one thing.
What's framed on television.
You can't even get past the fact of the whole anthem in itself before you worry.
It stands at 3. It's a racist song, and they don't even want to hear that. It's a racist song,
and you can't get past that. Exactly.
You hate America if you don't sing this song that's about killing you, motherfuckers. That don't even make sense.
Does it?
That don't make. How are you mad at somebody that's gonna take a knee because they won't sing a song that's about killing them?
And it's still about the police situation and the brutality. It has nothing to do with the military.
It's called cognitive dissonance. That shit can exist in the same plane, man. It can be true that it is patriotic song, and it can be true that it's racist than the motherfucker. Because that's what it is. They remove words out of the shit that is talking about killing slaves, man.
Yeah. And it's just one of the situations. You go back to July 11th. Do you know they have the annual eating the hot dog? Nathan's eating the hot dog thing. You know.
You talking about the competition?
Yeah, my man ate 71 hot dogs. He ate 74. I mean, it's amazing, and he's not a large American either.
I get full. I know.
Joey Chestnut. Yeah,
I get full.
I see one brother. He's a big bolo brother too. I mean, it's like
he did all that shit I burped.
I mean, I saw his workout. He does a workout with his neck to where he opens up his esophagus, and it's crazy, dude.
3 dicks.
Hey man, I didn't think about that.
Practice for that?
I'm just saying. I watched. And before he was a champ, there was a guy from Japan. Tiagi.
Oh yeah, it was even skinnier dude.
He was very good, and he had a 6-pack. They showed his workout regimen and how he worked. But let me show you how racist this country could be. When Joey Chestnut came, he was creeping up to my man. He was creeping up, and it turned into an American-Japanese thing. They was talking. My man was crying. He was like, I thought America was, but I had no idea America was like this. Why did it turn into a race thing? I mean, you see,
I don't know.
It was amazing to me how the 4th of July, Patriotic Day, supposedly. It could turn into such a racist thing.
Right.
The true shit really came out. And I saw this story. It was a 2-hour story on 30 for 30 on ESPN. You got a lot of time in a hotel when you hang with a truck when you're out of town. But it was very interesting. And then to see Joey Chestnut do this shit. It's not Joey Chestnut's fault it turned to a race thing. But it's the fault of the sponsorship. It's a fault of
the
race.
Media. The
media, everything. You got to put a kibosh on that bullshit.
They're not going to confront it. The media is doing this. They normalizing the shit, and they framing the shit. They'll say they'll end this shit like this. Man, that seems strange. I mean, but what do you do?
It's true.
They leave it vague, and then when they go off,
too many doors to open.
Motherfucker, what the fuck is going? They're normalizing the shit, man. Like, this shit ain't normal, man. Like, this ain't normal. Like, he's just lying, and y'all using that lie as talking points. Like it's the truth. Just because you say it 10 times don't make it the fucking truth.
No, it ain't normal eating all them goddamn hot dogs. That's what ain't normal. And after that, man, they had ESPN went from that to the cornhole tossing contest. That was funny. A comedy friend of mine, Scott Long, he caught wind of that. He posted it. That's kind of fun. You go from a hot dog eating contest to a cornhole contest. That's kind of there's subliminal messages there.
Right.
And you can't. I mean, the 4th of July, man. I'm not trying to harp on it too much, but I forgot to bring that up earlier because we just get to rambling.
But no, I serve this country, so I can say the fuck I want in regards to that shit.
I'm surprised you ain't been in the hot dog eating contest. You didn't know so many other things.
And serve the country.
I tried that once.
When I swore in, it didn't have no addendums. It didn't say if you black or if you this hue or if you were Republican, then I'm gonna go ahead and fight for you and everything like that. It didn't say shit like that. It didn't say if you transsexual or gay or whatever, then maybe we're gonna put a pause on your freedoms.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't say none of that shit, man. So you know. And then they kill me when they say that's just not who we are. Yes, it the fuck is.
Yeah, it is who we are.
Yes, it the fuck is.
Yeah,
we keep projecting what we would like to be, but we are not that.
There's a lot of resistance.
Man.
There's just too much resistance, man, and it's kind of getting to the point to where it's becoming the norm, but you got to have, that's why I got to have that conversation with my wife. That's why I got to let her know, no, I'm aware of this. I'm controlling what I can't control, but this is why I don't really feel this way now. Maybe when we was together 23 years ago, I felt this way. My eyes was less closed when I'm younger. But when you get older, you can't help but progress. You got to get smarter. You got to get wiser. You got to understand your culture. Although I do with my eyes wide open, but I understand this country is made of everything. You know, it's weird. They say by 2044, the white people is going to be the majority. So it's going to be to the point where you're going to be hanging with brothers like, man, I saw a white boy the other day.
They're going to be the minority.
The minority. That's what I mean. The minority. That's what I mean. I saw a white boy the other day.
Right.
Oh, shit. For real? Yeah. You know, I mean, that's what it seems like it's getting to, and so people are scared.
Yeah, they're scared of that shit.
So all the abortion things goes into effect with that. And
go get you a minority and fuck one too. Spread your seeds so it can live long. It ain't gonna look like you, but
see, I didn't say shit. Shoot, and the Potter family,
we got all be blue in about 50 years. The Potter family got
a little lighter,
Right.
You know, but
fighting some shit that's just inevitable.
It's all love.
What they gonna do when aliens start integrating this shit?
It's all love, and we all bleed red. You know, I was watching the Discovery Channel all damn week again. We got a lot of time in the hotel. Animals are very, very, very wise.
They smart. They're
very, very, very wise. I mean, it's amazing what they do every year and how they live.
They getting fed up.
How come?
I'm telling you, they have an annual meeting.
If they wanted to take us over,
they call it the Ark.
If they wanted to take over, they can take us over.
Hey, they meet in Vegas. We think they flying south for the winter, nigga. That's the annual meeting they have.
They had that big bird sign in the sky.
Right. They sent all their little representatives down south and everything. Had this meeting about.
Man, they were showing how these millions of bats meet up every year in this one spot. They go to all these trees and fuck up all this fruit. See? So they getting their muscles together.
Right.
The bats are smart to be hugging up on each other. It was like the bats don't even know each other. You see how they embrace each other.
They have
wow.
to meet. Order.
They just chirping.
Now these humans getting out of hand. Goddamn. Now we vampires and shit.
I did say, man, I'm waiting for that atomic bomb to just hit us.
Man, I remember one time, about 10 years ago on Facebook, this one dude asked this question. And back then I was like, damn, that's kind of harsh, motherfucker. He was like, if I had a choice, if he asked the question, he said, if you had a choice to save the world or let the meteor hit, would you do it? He was like, I let the meteor hit this motherfucker. And I was like, damn. But now,
sometimes we don't feel like we ain't worthy of that.
Let that motherfucker come.
We ain't worthy of it. We don't even worthy to have it. We still stuck on stupid.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right.
We went backwards like a mother scratcher.
Straight back. We went back 100 years, man.
And I hate saying, and I hate this podcast a lot of times being on such sensitive topics, but damn it, we got to talk about it.
We got to talk about it. That's what's wrong with
the situation.
We don't talk about the shit. we don't talk about it. It's uncomfortable only because
it's got to be uncomfortable.
But it's uncomfortable only because we don't talk about it. if we talk
it should be the norm.
If it's the norm, then people are like. It was
like, oh, really? He shouldn't have said that. God damn it, Jimmy.
Here, we talk about that type of thing.
Yeah, you have to, man, because we live it, man. It's no matter what, I hate saying it, but
they don't want us to talk about something we live.
Yes. They for some reason, they think, oh, you're lying.
Right.
Oh, really?
They don't think that. They know that we not lying. They just don't want to face the truth. They don't, because once you say it out loud and acknowledge that shit, things begin to change.
And then it doesn't help when you have someone tells them to go ahead and act this way. Act a certain way.
Or that it's cool.
Yeah.
Giving them license.
Don't be so gentle with them.
Right.
And all of this and that and the other. It's like, wait a minute. You actually think that's not a subliminal message? Right. You don't think that's a message to cops?
Black folk heard that loud and clear. Like, did he just say he heard us? That was the immediate.
Those words was like snap the neck.
Did he just say whoop our ass?
Yeah. That was the chokehold is legal now.
Right. That was translated immediately in the black community.
So we have to stay on some positive energy, just like we watching, the women's American sister almost scored. She missed. Damn it, after I was going to show some love. But, we try to stay positive and try to find something really positive in
Fuck that. Hey, 10p, Starbucks.
Yeah, you was talking about that. Tell me what you was talking about. Tell me, this is good. It sounds bad, but it ends good.
So
it never ends good. But,
well, 10p, apparently Starbucks asked 6 police officers to leave because they were making a customer uncomfortable. And so one of my comic buddies posted that story and was like, fuck Starbucks. I guess there's a hashtag dump Starbucks because Twitter went off on that shit or whatever. So I went and read the article because I wanted to be informed. I wanted to know So I read the article, and so I see the most important thing in that bitch. It said everybody involved was white. I was like, phew.
See, now, if everything was the norm, it wouldn't even have to said that.
Right, that wouldn't even been a story.
It wouldn't even been a story. But then flipping on the other side, I was saying at a store, I think in California, I think Santa Monica, black family, brother brought his son a basketball. I guess the clerk at the Nike store thought he stole it, so she got the police involved. She called the police, and he had to pull out the receipt, and he was calm. Everybody was calm, but then when she felt like doo-doo, the young boy, I told you, you didn't believe it. And officers, what do they say? Calm down. I mean, that's where people have a problem. Wait a minute, we have emotions. We look stupid. We got people looking around us thinking, oh, we stole something, and I can't get excited.
You know what I mean? What if this got on the news or went viral or something? Then and the right person see it now, he done lost his job because they think he's still now or perception.
But I can't get excited. But the police can roll up and be all amped up, guns out, blazing.
You didn't come.
Get the fucking So it's just irritating how you have a feel good and you have one of those stories.
Yeah, right.
You got to keep it funky. You got to go back and forth. And Nike's not a bad company because they jumped on the Kaepernick wagon.
They know what they do.
He's still doing. They making that money. It's all about money. When they pull that flag off that shoe because Kaepernick said something, they say, "Oh shit, we ain't losing that money."
Went up though. They stock went up.
That's why they.
Their stock went up.
Hey, over in Washington, the state of Washington, was Seattle.
The shoe was ugly, but the stock went up.
Yeah,
They should have some air reparations.
Air reparations. I seen that.
Air reparations.
Oh, another story this week is the fictitious mermaid. That's some funny shit to me. Man. I know. We got to talk about it because I done seen all kind of stuff come about. I mean, they got some fucked up memes about it too, man.
I didn't know.
Talking about can the hair get wet? All that bullshit.
They had one. DL posted one that had this fucked up black looking mermaid. Instead of her washed up on a rock, she on a watermelon. You seen that one?
Nice.
Yeah, they got a fucked up one out there.
How come these black girls can't have someone to look up to? Because I remember when I was young, it's funny because when you come back, I had Big Jim, Big John, I had Big G.I. Joe, Kung Fu Grip, and Murphy said, "Why we never had no black comics, no superhero type."
No, we just had Luke Cage. That's it. The Black Panther.
There was no black Barbies for girls, and then they started implementing that. There was resistance on that. It's like, wait a minute, how come?
You take your
why do we have to have that mentality? We can't look at ourselves as
because we didn't run those markets. We didn't have those companies. We didn't run those companies. We were the employees.
I already knew the answer. I was just saying that became the norm.
Yeah.
So when So when it does come out,
it
makes everything uncomfortable.
And uncomfortable because all that other stuff has been the norm. That's all the options and choices you had.
And had back in Annie, 3-4 years ago, when Jamie Foxx was in Annie with the little sister Annie, that became a big hoo-ha-ha.
Right.
Because, like, wait a minute, why does Annie They got Idris Elba.
Because 98% of things that was on TV and movies
that positive was white.
Right. So when you see us integrated into that shit, you're like, oh, what the fuck?
And going, wait a minute, hold on, let's make this even. Right. Let's get some positivity on our level too.
Right.
You know, that transition is fucked up. I mean, I keep going back. When I keep hearing in my head,
Roots, what if they made Roots white? Roots was white. The motherfuckers that brought us over here was white. They was in the movie. They was represented.
I mean, Tyrone had posted something yesterday as far as something about and I said, you know, baby, they already did the Ten Commandments.
They was in it. They started
the Ten Commandments. Come on, Charleston Heston. Come on, Moses was not no. Come on, come on. Elishaba was not that white.
It's been the norm.
Gershom.
It's been the norm, and we don't like change. Society doesn't like change, and when change happens, they reject all of it, no matter what it is.
You gotta have
until somebody put it in a rap.
But this is the thing: you gotta have it change somewhere on a positive level for all this change not to be so uncomfortable.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because
it's got to come through. It's got to come through the frame of a good nigga.
But right now,
Will Smith.
But right now, it's changed.
Somebody safe.
Right now, it's black overload. Right now, it's black overload.
Oh, right. But it shouldn't be.
No,
it shouldn't be. It should be the norm.
It should be the norm.
It should be the norm. Yeah, that's the only reason. It should be the norm.
I don't know about you, Maru, but I have conversations with my friends. I do. Not about politics, because I can't change. If you ain't changed, if you ain't have no empathy or compassion by now to go, oh, okay, I understand. This dude, he ain't for everyone. He's for his rich. And the poor white people that really don't really understand this dude, they just really hate Obama and black people that much the way they following him. I think they just,
their detriment.
They're just misguided.
To their detriment, though.
They just, so I can't have a conversation to those folks about anything to do with political stuff, and I can't help it. We're on charter territory. I can't even associate with you. I don't want to drink with you. I don't want to, you're not welcome. And I respect you, your political views, but I'm sorry. I see you this certain way now. That's just how it is.
You're an idiot. That's all I can see you. I can't even look. You can't. If you don't believe that he lies every day, just about simple shit, and you are basing your talking points and conversation based on his lies, I can't even have a conversation with you.
No. If you justify everything?
You justify everything? Come on,
the justification on one of his, when he made the teleprompter mess up, so he say, he always tried to compare with Obama. What about Obama saying 57 states? That was just a flub of words.
Obama did.
If you ask Obama how many states are, he'd tell, I know how many states are, motherfucker.
Right.
He'd tell you. Not quite like that, but it's irritating how they always compare. You cannot compare the conversation piece of President Barack Obama to 45.
Obama would have been in prison, under the prison already for the most
he would have been gone.
He'd have been under the prison in Guantanamo Bay, cousin's prison. He would have been. He'd have got 15 life sentences.
You know, unfortunately, the owner of Fox News, who created Fox News in 1996, he did it for the whole reason to cause controversy.
And it worked.
It worked to a T. It brought out a lot of people that was in the dark to the light. To the light. And then when Trump came in 2016, it brought more people to the light, like bats coming to the big sun. And
they own a lot of television stations. What's the name of that station that GOP owns, and so they're able to put out this propaganda on a widespread base, on a mass level, because it started with an S. I want to say this the company that owns a lot of these broadcast stations now, Sinclair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Sinclair. So they put GOP motherfuckers doing this rhetoric. They make the local newscast read certain shit that is Trump administration based, man. That shit is dangerous.
Have you been watching, I know you've been busy editing and everything, but have you been watching any of the Democratic? Yeah, Kamala Harris, she's trying to propose $100 billion to give black families a head start on home ownership type of thing. I think she's trying to save face to a sense. Because I know being police, she locked a lot.
She locked a lot of
brothers up.
So what's that whole ownership thing gonna do with them? If they can't, nothing. They can't get along.
You got a felony, you can't get along.
Right.
So she's just trying to say, get the the intelligent black people.
Yang 2020, baby.
Will understand.
Yang 2020. I'm trying to tell y'all.
You actually think so?
Y'all sleeping on Yang
just because he's smart. Just because he's ready, you actually think this country's ready for
I think
Asian? I'm fine with it, of course.
I'm ready for somebody that puts their shit into action, and he's got a proven business track record, and what he's saying makes fucking sense. And why not? You done gave the country over to white men for 200, 300, 400 years, and they done fucked it up time and time and time again. Why not?
Yep.
Why not actually put a smart motherfucker in there?
Why not? Because 8 years ago we did that. Look what happened.
But that'll show you his taxes.
But look what happened.
But look, Trump ain't do that. The smart motherfucker that we can verify that's a Trump was never a billionaire. That's why he's hiding his taxes. He gonna be embarrassed when them shits come out because he was never a billionaire. And that's what the fuck he's afraid of being revealed, is that he wasn't in the Billionaires Boy Club that he's been bragging about his whole motherfucking career. That's what he's scared of. This cat can prove it. He's gonna release them tax returns, and his theory of the $1,000 a month thing works out in my mind, and his explanation to it, and why not?
When you first hear about it, it's like, wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah,
but you got to think.
Everybody want to think about giving. You just gonna give money away, blah blah blah. But think about it.
Right.
Think about it. Work it out in your head. Go through your life. Go through your life as a middle class person or a poor person. Go through your life in your head. What you could have done with $1,000. You had $1,000 coming in a month. When you turn 18 years old, with an education of what to do with that $1,000 leading up to your 18th birthday, and the mistakes you've made, if you would have been able to fall back on your $1,000 a month, the gains you made, or you didn't have to ask Dad for that loan, you could have just waited and saved your money.
The self-pride
you would have felt,
in a sense,
and the money that's going back into the economy.
Yeah.
And so when you get a girlfriend or a spouse, it's not a drag on both of your pocketbooks, because that's $12,000 a year plus $12,000 a year y'all getting together. That pays for y'all wedding.
Yeah. In a sense, it's amazing no one thought of that before.
Right. But it's just when people hear you get the government giving out this free money, other countries do it successfully. There are other countries that do that.
Right.
And they're doing it success. The numbers prove it, but we don't introduce that over into our conversation because they don't want that.
But he want a parade.
We got a parade though.
Tanks just sitting there.
He learned about he act like he just learned about homelessness.
You see the rain it rained on his head. I mean,
but when he learned about it, he act like he just learned like
2 years ago.
That phenomenon just happened like 2 years ago. Bitch, are you serious?
Well, we're just used to that. That what's fucked up? That's the norm.
It's becoming the norm. They're normalizing it. The media,
the stupidity of this man is becoming normal.
I would say The View, they don't normalize it.
They don't.
The girls on The View, they don't normalize it.
I see bits
well, McCain does. She her little whining ass.
She can't stand it.
Well, my daddy is John McCain.
Yeah.
That's how you open them out. My daddy is John McCain.
She would never be on The View for work from her father.
Right.
You know what's weird though? I remember I couldn't stand the Bushes. I couldn't stand McCain. Not because of a specific. No. When I say I couldn't stand because of. I think McCain changed his thinking, just like everybody else does. Yes, he didn't like the Martin Luther King thing,
but he voted against 80% with Trump. Fuck him. He voted
after he found out how Trump really was. I think that's why Trump hated him so much.
Until he died, he voted 80% with Trump.
No, I think that was a Republican thing.
Yeah,
the GOP. It wasn't to do with I like Trump.
But that 80% includes policies that hurt us.
So his policies. But I still do believe that he changed a lot from when
he ain't changed enough.
I think. Any little change is good.
He changed enough. Voting 80% with the motherfuckers whose policy 100% is against minorities. No, fuck him. I'm glad he did the thumbs down thing when he voted against.
Right. So that's something.
Yeah, that's something. But still, if you.
But what I was gonna say was
partially evil.
What I was gonna say was I've never.
That still make you evil.
Right. It's like being a little pregnant. Like a little pregnant.
Right. A little pregnant.
I'm just saying in general. I don't feel no disdain for any of those folks now as much as I have to what's happening now. Not because of if Donald Trump was just a normal dude, just trying to be a billionaire, like you say, just out there, and he wasn't running the country, and people, I wouldn't give a shit. I'm like, man, that dude is funny as hell.
Yeah, right.
But he's in charge of so much. Did you know if he really wanted to push the button for nuclear, he could do that.
And that's the type of power we give a man, somebody that's
I always thought the president was a situation of people. It was not one motherfucking person.
It should be 12 people on each side. and that shouldn't even be a party or whatever. It should be about 24 to 50 motherfuckers who vote for the majority of the country. It shouldn't be no one motherfucker. Man.
No, especially this motherfucker.
Right, especially him. Should be. That's an old system. That system still ain't working.
Oh, you mean like the electoral?
Right. So you need to revamp the whole fucking system from bottom to top.
Can you imagine 5 million people voted more for a specific person? It could be expected.
On American Idol.
3.5 million people voted more for Hillary Clinton than him. And he still became president. That's
because I think that the Russian involvement was enough to get him over that. I think that nobody wants to say that shit. Nobody wants to say that the Russian involvement got him them votes that had him win.
You're talking about the electoral,
yeah,
because that's the ones that can be tricked.
The Russian involvement nobody wants to say that shit. They sugarcoat it. They'll say, yeah, the Russians was involved and they helped him win. Blah blah. How? They helped him with it. The only way they could have helped him was get them.
We'll be right back after this.
Right. They won't say it, man. Yeah. They won't say it. They helped him get the fucking votes he needed to win. Say that shit. That's the only way he's the president, because he got them fucking votes.
Because Putin wanted him in there.
Right. And the reason why he stopped that Iran shit and all of a sudden changed his mind, because Putin was like, hold up, nigga. I didn't know.
And I'm afraid it'll happen again. But you know what? It's a bad situation either way. If he loses, he's not going to go lead peacefully. And if he wins, it's going to be 4 more years of fucked up.
Man.
You know, so... Again, you can just take care of what you can, say your piece on what you can say your piece on.
I'm learning Espanol.
Resist whatever you can and say and do what you can.
I'm learning Espanol. Just people get
you want to Mexico?
He get 4 more years. They gonna make people even more brazen and talk crazy. And I feel like I might not be free too long.
Something's gonna happen. It's not gonna be a good thing. And I hate saying that, but it's just the way the world is now, man.
I'm like, man.
I had no idea the supremacy.
I don't bother nobody.
The supremacy's on the rise like it has never been before since he's been in there. Like you said earlier, they're giving him the green light. They have meetings and hail Trump and all this bullshit. But he don't. Oh, I'm not a white supremacist.
Right. But see, I know some people.
Come on, man.
That if they get approached like that, there's gonna be some head knocking just instantly. Like, don't want that, man. I don't want that.
When did you ever hear him really say? He said, including white supremacists. Okay, I've said it. Other than that, when has he ever been sincere?
Never.
He still has not apologized to the New York Five.
That's not his nature. He's not going to do that.
Nope.
That would have. He feels that's weakness.
But the people that follow him do not understand the danger they're even in.
Right.
The simplicity of it, Amaru, they don't have any clue that the man is just going ziggity boom. He's shooting off his hip, but they think that shit is cute.
They
think that shit is acceptable. It's not even. Again, we're on uncharted territory, man.
I'm just gonna say it like this: education the demise of education has been Trump's #1 thing on his gun belt. The lack of education in this country has been Trump's #1 bullet.
Well, you see where he got the education system going now. Right. Someone that's nowhere near qualified.
It took over a decade for that to manifest itself with people who believe the shit coming out of his mouth. So you got to start the education, fucking up the education process 15, 20 years ago, because now they have coming of age. And then racist motherfucker, old racist motherfucker was already racist, was going to continue to be racist. Now you got the new young dumb motherfuckers who don't know history who are joining the older racists, and that's what you need. That's
the situation when you say, well, I'm not my grandfather.
Right, I'm not. Right,
you get knocked the fuck out.
Right, right. But the thing is some of the kids that are on the other side of that, they see through what we won't acknowledge as adults. Like we all acknowledge it, but what society is sticking their head in the ground and these young folks is looking at the shit and then looking at us like, y'all don't see this shit? Mm-hmm. And it's like, fuck all that bureaucracy, motherfucker. This is how we can get it done.
It's right and wrong.
Right.
It's not money, it's right and wrong.
Right. They ain't seeing it like we seeing it. Like, why the fuck y'all just don't do this? And then we over here trying to man, and political explain it to them. Well, what had happened was, no, nigga, this is how we fix it right now. Like, we suffering right now. That's how they talking. Right. And we sitting there trying to rationalize that the motherfuckers ain't gonna wait no more than about 5 years. And it's gonna be less than that. They just gonna start cracking heads, man. They're not gonna, these young motherfuckers gonna start shooting back.
I'm just saying, that's where it starts, right? I mean, that's ground zero to me. Police reform. I'm sorry, I don't want to have the situation where you can't beat them, join them type of shit. I don't want to become no damn police.
They had over 5,000 motherfuckers on this Facebook group of the Border Patrol officers. Mm-hmm. It's only so many, I can't remember the number of officers that there are, maybe 20, 30,000, but that's a significant number of officers. The ratio of officers and racist motherfuckers that they can verify on this Facebook thing, 5,000, 6,000 motherfuckers, that's a lot of motherfuckers with badges and guns and charging people.
Had them for years.
Right. Those are the ones that expose themselves on Facebook. We ain't talking about the ones that ain't exposed themselves. It's about another 2,000 of them motherfuckers. Yeah. So, but that's a significant amount of hate. I
can imagine as a black man being in a police station or being sworn in, there's got to be some secret sworn in code that they got to go through under a light with bullets in their face
right.
or something. Because how can you justify or stand back and see how they're treating this young lady of color
because brainwashing, man.
That doesn't make any sense to me in my room.
Brainwashing.
I don't get that.
Powerful thing. It made a motherfucker change his name from Kunta to Toby.
Yeah, that's right. But I'm telling you, that's where it's going to start ground zero. You got to have some kind of police reform. You got to have someone that's sincere to understand. Look, it can't be about don't be gentle. It can't be about.
But we chew our officers up who do come forward. We cannibalize them.
Exactly, because it's that blue code.
Right.
And I know some police officers, there's some cool ones. But unfortunately, they caught up in that wash.
Right, they caught up in it.
They caught up in that wash, and they can't step forward. They in jeopardy. You know, they won't have your back. You know, that's how it is. So who could get that started?
They all have to agree.
Who could get that started?
They all have to agree somehow.
This is bullshit.
To hook up, and on one day,
all right, get the knee off the brother's neck.
No, I mean one day,
get the knee off the
one day come together and have a big ass news conference.
Can you dig it? Type of shit.
4,000 officers be like, look, this is what the fuck is going on. Now you can't deny 4,000 motherfuckers at a press conference in front of motherfucker Washington talking about some shit going down all across the country.
That's a good idea. Million officers march.
Just like the NFL shit. It's in numbers, man.
Million NFL march. You ain't got to be a player. Former players, all that.
The 10,000 police marches, you know.
Something, man. That's a good idea. Am I right?
They got to do it, but they got to.
You got to start somewhere.
They got to do it in numbers because doing it solo, we as a society cannibalize them as breaking that code or whatever that shit is. But nigga, it's just like, how you not gonna tell? And it's affecting you. Like this affecting you. And shit don't change until it happened to your motherfucking ass.
But they don't understand. They're going to always be looked at as a pig or a fuck the police until they change that.
Right. But they don't want to acknowledge that they look like that to us partially because of them. And then you're walking around with something that reflects slavery. That badge is the same fucking badge they used to carry for slave patrol. Yeah. Can we at least change that, motherfucker?
Yeah.
Why are you telling us at the same time, well, there's no racism in law enforcement, but you carry a slave patrol badge.
That has the badge right there and never changed it.
You never even changed the shape of the motherfucker.
It's like the flag.
Throughout history.
Not the flag, it's like the national anthem. I mean, if you know it's racist, change it.
Can you just change that and then try to tell me that it's fair, law and order? Can you change the FBI,
change is good.
The name of the FBI building from J. Edgar Hoover, and then try to convince me that the law enforcement is fair and legal, right? Because he at one time put Martin Luther King on the fucking
man of peace.
Communist as a
man of peace and the communist,
right? That's the number one. Can we change that shit while you at the same time trying to tell us law enforcement is equal and just? Like, I'm looking at this shit. Why you telling me this?
Went up through a plethora of that with the statues coming down.
Right.
See how that turned out.
We live in a free country. Oh, look over there. There's a Confederate statue. Right. You know what I mean? Like we see this, and then you telling us shit is fair, but then when we go in every court building, all the motherfuckers in charge on the wall are white.
I don't know. I ain't never been to court, so.
Oh, I've been to a few of the motherfuckers.
You talking too much now.
No, they wasn't never for me.
Not right. I'm just saying. I was doing in there.
Before I was 18.
I was being a witness.
I was a bad kid. I was a juvenile. I was in and out of the court.
But don't let the little levity get the conversation piece lost.
Oh, yeah.
I know what you were saying, brother.
Shit is this, man. People just sit down, talk, and with some common sense and a little education.
But they got to have an open mind. They got to be able to understand, look at it from this standpoint.
But they need to do that.
You're never going to understand empathy for someone that's of color. If you're not of color.
But you can't have empathy if you don't know history.
Exactly. That's why you can never have empathy.
You don't know the history. You can't empathize.
But you could at least have a kindness in your heart to go, that's messed up.
And let me go see if it's true. Let me go do some research.
It's true because I told you it was true.
Right, but even if I'm a person that want to deal with facts.
Yeah.
I feel. Let me go check it out and see if it's true. If you care about me,
like you did, you look at the whole story. You don't want to get the whole. You don't want to get just the clip.
And then come back and say, you know what, man, that is. Damn, I can only imagine if this happened to you right now, how I would feel. Damn, that is kind of fun. I can see how you feel fucked up about this. But nobody wants to do that shit, man.
You remember that movie with Samuel? Yeah, I'm glad it did. I'm glad I killed him. What was that movie?
I
hope it burned in hell.
I hope it burned in hell.
That movie. When Matthew
McConaughey, it was Time to Kill.
Time to Kill. When he said at the end, close your eyes, blah, blah, blah. Now imagine she was white. That was the most powerful moment right there. Because it's like, okay, they was like, the jury like, oh shit.
I hope he burned in hell.
That's where all the motherfuckers started from right there.
Motherfucker.
But in a sense, if some people that's not really empathetic or sympathetic or even have any passion for the plight of the negativity that happened to people of color, if they sat back and imagined if it was them,
right,
maybe they could. If they closed their eyes and went, wait a minute, that's kind of fucked up.
Right.
Maybe that chain would break when people keep teaching their kids to hate. That's where it starts, my Rudy. How can you have a kid that's 17-year-old hate people that much? 21 years old hate that much,
man. Because
of course it's taught.
Because my childhood best friend was white, man, and from what I hear right now, he racist. He turned racist. He a cop now.
Did you whoop his ass when y'all was kids, man?
No, he's a federal marshal, but I don't understand.
See, he's a federal marshal now. How can you be a federal marshal if you were racist?
Right, but when we were kids, man, we was tight, man. We was boys. That was my boy. Like, matter of fact, the last time I seen him, I borrowed his Ghetto Boys tape. It was his. You know what I mean? Like, and so it's hard for me to imagine this cat.
What made him turn?
Like, what the fuck?
Did he look at the Turner Diaries or something?
I don't know what the fuck happened. Like, this is not my guy.
Yeah, I mean, it's
like,
sad.
How?
It's sad.
You know, and he knows the truth. You know, hung around with a black dude. You done been, meet places.
I did the damn blood brother thing. I'm gonna cut my finger, you cut your finger, boom.
Like, so how, how could...
Can't do that shit now, though.
I don't understand where the change came, man. Like,
he got a hold of the wrong crew.
He got married and
he got a hold of the wrong crew. He was a follower, not a leader. He didn't lead. He didn't think for himself. And that's what I refuse to not do. I'm not going to let someone influence me how I teach somebody or treat somebody. Exactly.
We clicked just like that. The first 30 seconds when we met at camp, when we were kids, and then to find out like that shit still, and it makes sense. Our last conversation on Facebook, I was trying to get information from him and see how he was doing it. He was vague with the shit, so it makes sense now that because he's a fighter marshal. But like this was like. I'm hurt over this shit.
Exactly. It was like, wait a minute, I didn't influence you that much.
I want my friend.
Even we was kids, like, God dang, man.
He went to college.
You know that ain't cool.
He went to Western. I go work out with him. He was boys.
Around people of color.
Yeah, like you were.
Oh man, he got around the wrong people. You know he.
Like what the fuck happened?
You said he got married.
Yeah, he got married.
It could have been someone of his in-laws. Anything.
Yeah.
Impressionable. Anything. They could. Hey man, right? Hey.
That's true.
You know,
but they must have been powerful.
Can you still?
They must have been powerful people because, like I said, even in college, because he did 4 years at Western, so we were still friends then, and it had to be in between college and when he came, because I think he went to the Navy.
But you know what would be cool, Amaro, to have closure, because if it bothers you, have a conversation with him. Talk to him.
I haven't seen him since high school. I don't know where he's at.
You can't reach out to him?
I don't know where he's at.
You say he's an officer of the damn law.
Yeah, but
go to his jurisdiction, get stopped.
Nigga, please.
And before you get knocked the fuck out.
Like a movie and shit.
My friend, we were just bam.
It's him that pulled me over and shit. Like, like we need to talk. What happened?
Hey man, I miss you.
Right. We had a fight and shit on the side of the road.
No, never mind. I don't recommend that course of action.
No, I'm saying we get the fight. I'm talking about the movie aspect of we get the fight and then we tired. We end up leaning against the car and then talking. What happened, man? And, I'm bleeding and shit. And then by the end of the movie, he don't press charges. I don't go to jail and that type of shit.
See that mind of that movie thinking, shit, that's actually a good ending.
And I get my friend back.
Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be
friends? Right. I miss that dude, man. Like, he was part of the reason that kept me out of trouble when I was a kid. Like, because I knew if I got in trouble, I wouldn't be able to see, we wouldn't be able to kick it during the summer.
Right.
I wouldn't be able to go over to his house and spend the night.
Anyway, y'all sound like y'all need to have a conversation. At least say your piece on it. If you could get a hold of him, shit, Facebook, anything.
He ain't on there. He's law enforcement. That's why he ain't on there no more.
Yeah, he is. It's just a different name.
He probably one of my friends now spying on me and shit.
You never know. If you listen to Just a Thought, reach out to him, man. This bullshit, man. But you know what? That's where it starts, man. If you feel uncomfortable, if you don't understand, if you do understand or don't understand, what changed you?
Yeah,
that's where a conversation starts. And he could go, well, damn, what did change me? Maybe the wrong person I ran into. Well, you can't gang on me and a bunch of people that you don't like. Right. I don't want to be stereotyped. Like, you don't want to be stereotyped.
Right. He know damn well that one incident or whatever that changed your whole shit don't reflect the whole fucking culture or me.
But if you got a weak mind, you could think that way. That's where racism starts. You know that.
He have a weak mind.
That's how motherfuckers got weak minds. They're gonna put you in a whole bunch. Shit, if the police do it, what makes you think somebody else ain't gonna do it? That happens all the time. That's how we get stereotyped. That's how we get profiled, so to speak. That's what's fucked up. And it's really fucked up. It's the norm now. We feel, oh shit. Like you said, I got a squeaky clean record. I ain't never been to jail. Don't plan on going to jail. Cause why? Cause I'm smart. I'm in the scuba squad. The point being is, I still feel that tenseness,
everybody black dude. I bet you.
But somebody that don't really
understand that shit.
Could not even.
They feel uncomfortable for
when you talk
a few
about
minutes.
Yeah.
But we deal with that 24/7.
Yeah.
24/7. I see a siren outside. Oh shit! Do I get that?
It's an ambulance.
Is it? Yeah. Oh shit. Okay. Who? Oh, they next door. Oh, what the fuck going? Hope they don't knock on this motherfucker. Right. I don't know shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be dealing with that shit, but yeah, you concerned. But we can only be so. One day it's gonna hurt you, white people. It's gonna hurt you because you're gonna need some assistance and we ain't gonna want to call the police because we don't know if
like the girl said to me. Like the girl said, she wanted me to be a suspect and a witness. Wait a minute, I'm not helping your ass out.
Right, man.
I'm just gonna mind my own business.
Mind my own business.
My phone gonna be going off.
And you'll be looking at recording. Why did you do something?
I did. I recorded for you.
I didn't want to shit.
Shit, why should I die?
Right. Y'all better stop that shit.
Shit, I don't want to be no martyr.
I don't want to be no fucking victim because you had a heart attack. I'm trying to.
That's Amy Winehouse. No.
You gave her this heart attack? No, I called you for her. She ain't breathing.
You remember the dude in Florida was helping out the crazy man?
Yeah,
and then he got shot.
They dropped the charges. They just
on the police.
About 2 weeks ago.
On the police.
Yep, they dropped the charges. Yeah.
And the black guy was in the thing. Yeah. He was like, man, he asked him, why'd you shoot me? He said, I don't know.
Right. That was his excuse for
It's my protocol.
Yeah, he didn't know.
Now that's messed up.
Even the special ed.
He even said, he had a truck in his hand. Jesus like, this is my special truck. All that shit. And you can't tell which one's loony. You couldn't tell which one was loony.
Yeah, he started the wrong and the dude got away with it. With a whack ass.
So, Amara, what could deter any other officer for shooting someone? Doesn't.
My theory, I wrote this probably about 5 years ago. I call it, it's in my notes on Facebook, I call it the Barney Fife theory. Hear me out.
Play it off.
Right, my bad. Hear me out, though. Hear me out on this. I call it the Barney Fife theory.
All right.
You remember Barney Fife?
Yeah. Come on, Andy.
Right.
I'm
talking about get your big chest.
My trusty bullet.
When it comes to it, though, Barney about to run. He gonna go get
tail between his legs.
Right. So I know this to be true because I got bullied when I was in my adolescence. and I was gonna become a cop so I could exact my revenge. I remember thinking that type of shit.
Oh,
right.
You know they say that too,
right? So I noticed that a lot of cops are scary types, and shaking and that type of shit and reacting kind of strange. I'm thinking like, if I thought like that, because I was getting bullied,
right?
I know it's a lot of motherfuckers
that follow through.
That follow through with that
but
shit.
You had 12 other jobs doing
right. Well, I did go to the prerequisites of the police academy, but I wanted to follow acting, so
So you got sidebar.
I got out of there. I got sidebar. right. So, but
God.
How many motherfuckers that follow through with that shit and are exacting their revenges on motherfuckers that look like us that used to bully them?
Yep.
That's not far-fetched, dog, because I almost did it. I wouldn't have been like the bad type of exacting revenge.
The Barney Fife syndrome.
Right. I'd have been like the motherfucker trying to right the wrongs type of shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. But how many motherfuckers that is exacting their revenge on the niggas that was popular?
It ain't no TV show.
Right.
It's a Barney Fife for real.
Motherfuckers pulling people over the, I remember that motherfucker, he always blah, blah, blah. Woo! What you put me over for, officer? Don't worry about it.
Because you scored 20 points, motherfucker. Punk ass. We lost that year because of your bitch ass.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, man.
I'm telling you, I call it the Barney Fife syndrome. They was cowards back in the day, and I was timid, and motherfuckers. I grew up as Jehovah's Witness. I was taught to turn the other cheek, but they was slapping the third one. My butt cheeks and all kinds of shit, whooping my ass. At some point, I had to grow out of that shit, and so I didn't need to become a cop or whatever. I became popular. I was a jock at school. I turned into a big nigga. That's what happened. But
you wasn't bullied no more.
I wasn't bullied no more. But a lot of cats don't. They still into their teens, adolescents, high school, still a nerd. So how can I get my power back? Becoming law enforcement.
Law enforcement. They could do anything. We could do anything. We could whoop somebody's ass and go to court and go to desk duty.
And actually be telling the truth. I fear for my life. I think they do fear for their life. Because that's how scared they are.
And it's amazing. You can still have a camera and they can show you wouldn't fear for your life.
But I think mentally they do fear for their life because they really fear black people. Because they feared them when they was kids getting bullied. And they fear didn't do anything. They didn't confront that fear and get over that fear. They embraced it and coddled it, becoming a cop. This badge will protect me, and then when it comes down to it.
You know what? If every life is important, then everybody should fear for their life, even against police officers. If you fear for your life, I fear for my life. We both guns drawn, motherfucker. I didn't do anything. I'm not that motherfucker that robbed that store over there. So don't point a gun at me. I'm gonna keep my gun pointed at you. I fear for my life just like you do.
It's mandate. Because they don't do that in the
military.
They
need to change the meaning of fearing for your life with police officers.
But it's a mandate. They don't do that in the military. They have to be sure before they pull that motherfucking trigger because it can start an international incident. So it's the mandate. If it was mandated over here, you don't pull that trigger.
Yeah, you mentioned that before. I agree. I totally agree. But I'm just saying in general, I got one motherfucking life.
Right.
Well, I want to let you take it out over a misunderstanding or because you told me to turn my car off and I reached for my turn the car off, and that's your. Oh, I thought he reached for a gun.
What if you do have another life, but you don't know that shit until this one in?
That's another goddamn topic on another Just a Thought podcast, man. We're going to leave it at that, Amaru. I'm going to write that shit down for the next time, dog. Right. My man, it's a pleasure always conversing with you, man, because you have a nice insight on situations, man, and I appreciate that,
It's just a thought.
It's just a thought always, man. Thanks for listening. Whoever listens to us, tell a friend. We appreciate it. Give us some feedback. We're going to continue doing this, and we're gonna leave it at that, man. We're gonna find some positive. The women won the as we sat here.
Congratulations,
the World Cup. They will not be going to the White House, I'm sure.
I'll be mad. I would be mad.
We'll leave it at that. They don't want to eat no McDonald's, no Burger King. They don't need all that shit. But anyway, we out of here. Fred Potter here.
Amaru.
Deuces.
Peace.
Holla.
That new jack. Help me, Scotty. I'm gonna die.